I'm going to sound absolutely bananas when I say it, but I saw someone shift, their energy shift, and they went and explored whatever they went to explore. And when they came out of that meditation, I said, well, welcome back. Like, how did you know I left? I was like, I saw it. I saw you go.
Welcome to Rooted and Rising, where we focus on becoming whole through the mind, body, and spirit together. My name is Lamisa, and my guest today is Drew Johnson Nwabueze. She is a sound meditation coach. She's an instructor. Thank you for coming on, Drew.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Can you walk me through the timeline from getting your law degree to becoming an entrepreneur, instructor, and sound coach?
Yeah, no, that's an awesome question. So, I actually was starting my entrepreneurship journey prior to starting law school. I was doing bath mixes at that time. So, I was doing cleansing baths before moving into sound healing in 2020. I started going to law school because it was going to help me understand the law of business on the back end. So, it was just fitting for me to continue. And then right as 2020 hit, I did the transition from, doing bath mixes and um, energy readings. I made the switch into doing sound healing and Reiki and chakra balancing work. And then after having my son, I started doing classes, nonprofit work, and then it leads me here when I'm doing my doctorates, doing teaching, coaching, and everything else.
Tell me about this bath. What you call it again?
I used to call them bath mix. Listen, it was popping in the streets. I used to do farmers markets, and so I would do different types of bath mixes. And how that started, I started with my own healing. So I was like super depressed, and I just heard the guidance of create a cleansing bath, and I would use it. And would have salt, eucalyptus, essential oils, and I would just feel so cleansed and released after taking these baths. And once I found like internal balance, I started offering it to the community, and people knew me for bath mixes for a good minute.
So, can you explain sound meditation for those who don't know what that is?
Yeah. So sound meditation, okay, this is how I like to explain it. Okay. We are vibrating beings, right? We're comprised of atoms that vibrate, right? And the sound waves are also vibrating. So the frequencies impact each other. And when we engage with sound healing, we are engaging with what is called the parasympathetic nervous system. What that means is it helps us relax and digest our food. So when we get engaged with that system through the vibration of sound, we can have deep reflection, we can have deep relaxation. We begin to release the stuff that we've been holding on throughout the day. So it is a wonderful practice to include, especially if you have anxiety, even depression, depending on the frequency you can use, because each bowl has a different frequency it emits, which means it does different things for the body. It's like a tool. You can use a hammer for hitting a nail, but you use a saw for cutting the wood. Same thing with sound healing. I might use my brass singing bowl to cut through heavy, dense energy. I might use my heavy root bowl to help shake the energy around. Each frequency does something different. So that's sound healing in a nutshell.
What if wellness wasn't just about your body, but about your whole life feeling good? The 2026 Wellness Powered by You digital planner is designed to empower every part of you with weekly insight, questions that guide your inner growth, and reflection space to help you honor your journey. True wellness means a calm environment too. In your new 2026 planner, you'll find quarterly prompts for closet clean out, home deep cleans, and car maintenance checklists to keep your space as clear as your mind. This is Wellness Powered by You. Be organized, be intentional, and leave 2026 a different person than you entered. Get your 2026 planner now at the link below. So, how can you use sound meditation if you just want to heal one thing in within your life?
So, I think that is That's essentially the same question of asking a physical trainer, like, how can you build muscle in one part of your body? I mean, you can focus, like, if you want to build those glutes, but ultimately the whole body is going to be impacted, just as the whole spirit is going to be impacted. So you can come in specifically for, I'm really stressed out about work, but childhood trauma might pop in somehow. So when you enter into these spaces, you just got to keep in mind you're entering in for whole body relaxation, whole body healing, whatever the intention is behind it for your engagement.
How often do you recommend sound meditation for beginners?
So I think I wouldn't talk about often as in frequency, but the duration. So I think it would be dependent on you, on how much you want to be engaged with that modality. But I recommend starting off no more or no longer than 15 to 30 minutes. And if I can share a story really quick, at one point in time, I was trying to record a sound healing CD, right? And I'm in the recording studio and I'm recording for about an hour. And the music engineer had to play the song back about 2 hours to do the editing. So he engaged for 3 hours worth of sound healing. He reported feeling sick. He reported feeling just unwell. And if you think about it, again, sound is engaging with the whole body. It's shaking up stuff energetically that you've been holding on. It's removing, you could look at it as like germs, if you will. Like it's removing things that make you feel icky, sick, and heavy, right? So he engaged with too much. Like imagine taking too much medicine, right? So he was experiencing physical symptoms. So I would always recommend starting 15 minutes, max out at 30. If you feel comfortable, you feel like you can do more, go on ahead. But that would be my suggestion.
So I met Drew at an event, and she was on stage and she started out with sound meditation, and we only did it for 5 minutes, and it
Yeah.
seemed like the whole room stopped what they were doing and listened, because remember how noisy it was when you first got
Hmm.
up there.
Hmm.
So explain a time that you had an event like that and what happened.
Yeah. So I was at an art event. So there was an art showing, then they had vendors, and then I'm doing sound healing, right? And it's not just a one-off. I notice like whenever I engage with the bowls or sound, there's a hush that comes over where people just kind of tune into the frequency. And I can see the vibration. I can see other things. I'm gifted in other things, I suppose. And so I see the vibration, I see what's coming off of people, and I see how the energy shifts. And I'm listening to like what frequency to play to affect the collective energy. There's been times where I've played in like a massage studio. They would host parties. Um, and I'm picking up someone's energy right next to me, like a physical pain in my shoulder. And I pulled them off to the side. I said, does your shoulder hurt? And they started crying. I'm like, well, this is what I'm picking up. So, it's such a beautiful experience to be a part of. Yeah.
And
It
it
is.
was it was a great experience to be a part of. So, does your law background influence your current role as a sound meditation
Yeah,
coach?
absolutely. Absolutely. And sound meditation is just one part of what I'm doing. I do many, many things. So my law degree helps me on the back end of things. It helps me understand contracts and if I'm renting out this space for this event, it helps me just protect myself professionally, legally. So it helps me negotiate. Like I love my little law degree. Yes. I can't be your lawyer, but I can read a contract.
Good to know. Good to know. So, how can you balance other people's energy when they're around you?
So I don't think it's me balancing their energy rather than me being an open channel for source or collective energy, as well as being someone who can influence the energy around me. It's not like I'm manipulating or doing anything with it. It's just me existing authentically and just working with the energy around me. Um, And so how do I balance that? I keep my head covered. So if you've met me, I will always have my head covered if I'm in public. And that's just a way to protect myself because again, I'm gifted in many things. I'll get information on you while I'm passing by in the grocery store. And I don't necessarily want that information. I'm trying to buy groceries. So I keep myself protected in that way. And I also on the back end, participate in energetic maintenance, like showering, releasing, stuff like that. Hmm.
So explain more about the covering. That's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So, certain religious affiliations believe in covering the head for different reasons. I cover my head because, I align with the chakras. This is what this system is right here. And it's the energy systems within our body. And it's believed to kind of pinpoint how our energy flows. And so at the top, this is our last chakra. This is our crown chakra. It's the eighth chakra. It's connected to source, ethers, heavens, whatever you want to call it. And I receive a lot of downloads, but I notice once I cover my head, it's kind of like just like a protection of I'm not picking up on, everyone around me because it becomes extremely overwhelming. One, and I get exhausted, but two, I have young babies. I'm not trying to bring anything home, okay?
Is there a frequency that you would recommend to someone that has a closed
Chakra.
chakra? Chakra.
That's too funny. Well, yes. Okay, so I mean, you can Google online and see what frequencies. They say 741 hertz is good. And just to kind of break down what that is, again, going back, each chakra has a frequency or correlates with, So we have the root chakra, which is at the base of your tailbone. You have the sacral chakra, which is where your hips meet, or yeah, your hips. Then you have your solar plexus around your navel, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown. Each one has a different vibrational frequency it adheres to. And you can play music or vibrational sounds that directly impacts that chakra, but again, we're not fragmented, we're a holistic system, so it'll, you'll feel it throughout yourself, you're out your being. Yeah, but I would always say just explore what frequencies align, because even though you may feel as though I need to specifically work on this chakra, we're again a whole system. There might be something else that you can benefit as well. So play around, explore, Google. Okay.
What type of approaches have you noticed work well with your clients?
Oh, my beautiful people. So, they're the reason why I have so many certifications, because not everybody is one size fits all, right? So the approach that seems to be the fan favorite is, of course, sound healing. That's an approach that I place in, but I also incorporate a talk space because if you book time with me, I'm going to one ask you like, how are you feeling? I'm going to have you do a ACEs intake form because I am trauma informed. So I want to understand, how does your past influence your present? And with that information, I then begin to custom tailor the experience to that person. But generally, sound healing is included, and that seems to be a fan favorite. But I make sure to add the talk therapy space in so you can talk out what you're experiencing, and as well as at the end we kind of reflect like how are you feeling now? Like these are your next steps moving forward. And then I always leave integration work, meaning like homework, worksheets, workbooks, so you can continue on your journey. Yeah.
What should I expect to feel or experience during a meditation session?
Well, that depends. That depends on a lot of factors. Some people feel irritated, So when I do sound healing sessions, I always start and say, this is an autonomous practice. At any point in time you feel irritated, you are more than welcome to get up and go on about your business. But then you have to understand why. It's releasing things that you've been holding on to. It's moving stuff around. Some people have irritation because I didn't want to feel angry today. I didn't want to deal with this today. You never know what's going to be brought into your field of awareness when you enter into the space of meditation and sound healing. You never know. So you can experience a wide array of emotions. Some people feel relaxed. Some people feel irritated. It depends.
Very interesting. In your book, Co-Create a Journey to Your Power Journal, you spoke about emotional regulation. What is emotional regulation?
Yay! Emotional regulation. So It's basically to come to a homeostasis, like a balance point within inside of yourself. So what I practice and I form the clients I work with, our emotions are like a GPS system and they help inform us on what type of experiences we may want to experience more of. So when we feel happy, we're like, oh, I want more of that. Maybe I should bring more comfy blankets or comfy socks or things like that. Same thing with feeling sad. Like maybe I didn't like the way they spoke to me. Maybe I should pay attention to how else I feel, experiencing those feelings. So when we're regulating that system, it means we're just coming back to a place of balance. We're not, I don't believe we're meant to just feel happy 24/7, just the same as we're not meant to feel angry 24/7. We're at a balanced space and then we just fluctuate as we experience life. And so, how you can go about achieving emotional regulation, talk therapy, you can do different modalities like meditation, sound healing, yoga. There's so many different modalities you can use to balance yourself.
So, do you teach yoga?
I do not teach yoga. I am yoga certified. So in session, I tell you, I have a lot of tools in the tool belt. So when I hold space for people, if someone is holding energy in their hips and they just need to move, we might sway. We might do a downward dog. We might, engage with the body. So my practice is whole person balance, right? Mind, body, and spirit. That's why I'm getting that doctor's degree in psychology. I have the spiritual work and body, okay? We're gonna be balanced.
Yes. You deserve a break, and we have the answer. It's the Feed Your Soul Wellness Retreat in Hot Springs, Arkansas, April 29th through May 3rd, 2026. We've designed this retreat for you to unplug, detox, reconnect, and restore the mind, body, and soul. With a guided excursions and designated free time, you will head back home rested, connected, and redirected, giving you the energy you need to make the best of 2026. Click the link below. We can't wait to retreat with you. What's your relationship to journaling?
Oh, I love journaling. I will say sometimes I get sloppy because my hands start cramping. So I'll speak out what I'm wanting to write and I'll just have maybe my notes do it. Sometimes I don't even want to do that, then I'll paint. It's just a way, journaling and painting, it's just a way to transmute the energy. And what I mean by transmute is take it from one form and into another. So you're taking the energy from out of yourself and putting it on pen and paper or paintbrush and paint and canvas.
So do you have clients that you have in journaling that are doing journaling, but you take them out into painting as well?
Yeah,
It's just the
yeah.
techniques.
Yeah, those are just different techniques. So I have a certification in therapeutic art, and so we'll paint it out. And I'll if I'm doing child work, let's say you're coming to me and saying, I really want to spend this time focusing on my inner child, I'll curate the space for you to do that, to engage in a safe container. And so if that looks like creating with pen or paper and art, we'll do that. If it looks like this, if it looks like playing with ribbons, we'll play with ribbons. It's just how can you engage with yourself deeper in a supported way?
Do you incorporate sound into your journaling practice?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I incorporate sound. Anywhere I can incorporate sound, sound will be incorporated. Like, um, I just feel as though it helps expedite, not even expedites, but it just helps the flow of energy. Like you kind of get in the vibe of stuff, you know? If you ever listen to Nuck If You Buck, you're not sitting there calm and peacefully. You're like, yeah, Nuck If You Buck. Yeah. So the same thing with sound healing, you get the smooth vibes when you relax, you let down your guards a little bit. It's good.
Yes. How does sound change your journaling experience?
Sound can change your journaling experience. I mean, it depends on what frequency, what sound you're listening to, just as I stated before. Um, but I mean, it could just help it flow, like the natural flow, move on. Yeah.
Does sound meditation complement silent meditation practice? If so, how?
Yeah. I think it could. I think it could. So you could have your meditation set up where you engage with sound for a little bit and then move into quiet time. I mean, I've done it where when I'm doing sound healing, a singing bowl session, I'll play frequencies and then I'll lower. kind of you, I mean, you've experienced it. You lower the tone down and we sit in quiet for a little bit just to be with our thoughts. Because some people don't want sound the whole time either, you know? So just gotta be flexible. I think they can work well with each other, of course. They're balanced.
Read that. Can you describe a transformative moment you witnessed in your work?
The work I get to do is so beautiful. So I think each encounter is transformative and amazing. Do I have a standout? I mean, there was once a time when I was doing a chakra meditation Reiki session. I literally saw someone. I want to sound absolutely bananas when I say it, but I saw someone shift, their energy shift, and they went and explored whatever they went to explore. And when they came out of that meditation, I said, "Well, welcome back." They were like, "How did you know I left?" I was like, "I saw it. I saw you go." But I mean, I get to see people look at the parts of themselves that they hide away from the world and bring it into this space and work with us, work with them. And it's just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to get to watch the unfolding happen in real time.
Have you ever had a skeptical client change their beliefs after working with you? What was that like?
Yes. Oh, yes. I have plenty of skeptical clients. They're like, "What is this? What are you trying to do? This girl's crazy." And then they see the process, they're like, "Wait a minute. Wait a minute." And I think they see the importance of the work of taking care of the whole self. And I think a lot of times in this current society, we're not really taught to take care of the whole self, especially in this hustle mentality of go, go, go. You got to get the bag culture. And that's detrimental. And so to be able to be slow and stop and rest and engage with the parts of yourselves that you were taught possibly you weren't supposed to engage with. I think it's super empowering. Absolutely.
Okay, so let me go back because you talked about this popcorn society we have now.
Yeah.
So, during your process, is that one of the major things that you focus on helping people to slow down?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel as though the work requires it, right? And I don't even think it's like a conscious, like, okay, be slow. It's just you approach it and it requires you to, allow your boundaries to, not boundaries, but your guards to be brought down a little bit for you to take deep breaths and be present in the moment and sit with yourself, sit with the full self. So it requires it, I think. Yeah.
Would you handle a situation where a participant had an unexpected emotional release or become distracted during?
Well, I like to come into all sessions as, we're all adults, right? So if they're distracted during their practice, then they're distracted during their practice. It's not for me to be like, "Hey, come on back." Now if you're distracting others, I might say, "Can you excuse yourself out?" But if they're having an emotional release, which happens, again, it's creating a safe container for those emotions to exist in. So one of the things I make sure if I'm holding space for, let's say, an event and this is happening, there's no photos allowed when I'm doing the energy work because it is so intimate that it doesn't need to be captured and disseminated and shared with the world. If we're in a one-on-one session, I make sure I ask all my clients ahead of time, do I have permission to gently touch you through the session? Because there might be a time where touch is called for. So I had someone having an emotional release. I gently placed my hand on their back. Just a supportive touch so they know that yes, you're going through this emotional release by yourself, but you're not alone in that process. So I use touch to reaffirm if they're having an emotional release. And then I also have a solid network of references and resources that if they continue to have it, I'm referring you over here so you can get continued support. I can't do everything. I have many tools, but I can't do everything.
And you talked about groups. So, you do have groups where you do certain training versus individual training.
Yeah, yeah. I do group workshops all the time. I mean, before having my son this past year, I had a nonprofit arm where I was doing events every month. I held space for Emotional Wellness Month. We did that. We had a third annual. We had a Mother's Day give back, and as we approach the 2026 year, definitely stay tuned because I'm outside now. Okay, I'm back outside. I have my calendar up and ready for community events that I'll be holding. Absolutely.
For those who may not have access to an in-person session, what do you recommend they do?
The Google exists. I mean, you can look it up, but I understand people don't know what they don't know, so you may not even know what to look out for, right? Go onto my website, restorewellness.net. I have free resources for you, especially like the holiday season. I released a free holiday workbook, a little journal activity just to get you started. I release free stuff through my blog posting, my social media posting. If you don't have the means to invest in this, or maybe you're apprehensive, there's resources out there to see if this aligns with you, and then you can continue down the road if you see fit. Yeah.
So that leads right into my next question. Tell everybody where they can find you for social media, book titles,
Woo!
whatever you have out there, give it to them.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so you can find me at restorewellness.net, RESTOR wellness.net. You can find me on Instagram at House of Yodi, HAUS of Yodi, YODI. You can find all my links through my Instagram as well as on my business. You can see the research that I'm doing for school and the events that I have coming up. It's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It is, it is. Well, Drew, I want to thank you so much for giving us a little insight about sound and meditation and all the things that you have been working on. So you have a wonderful day, and I hope to have you
Thank
back
you.
on again.
Yes,
Bye.
likewise. Bye.